Aston Villa celebrate Mile Jedinak's goal. Middlesbrough's disappointing record against the Championship top six continued on Saturday evening, as a Mile Jedinak header gave Aston Villa a 1-0 win in control of their playoff semi-final tie. The home side dominated the ball but lacked a cutting edge, and in many ways it was easy to see why they have won just one of 10 previous games against those around them in the table this season. Villa won by a goal at the Riverside Stadium in December, and here are 4 talking points after a repeat performance. Mile Jedinak's early header gives Villa control as Borough were hit by cruel irony in true Tony Pulis fashion. Middlesbrough have been extremely efficient from set pieces this season, scoring 12 goals, the most in the Championship. They had a couple of early attempts to add to their tally, but Aston Villa soon took control of the game. Jedinak was running the game in front of the visitors' back four, allowing Jack Grealish and former Borough man Albert Adomah to get close to Lewis Graben, who was holding the ball up well in attack. Villa struck in perhaps the cruelest way possible from Pulis' point of view, when Jedinak headed home Grealish's perfectly weighted and swinging corner. Villa were always going to be a threat in the air, with Jedinak, James Chester and captain John Terry all queuing up, but Pulis will have been far from happy with the marking, though there was nobody on far post to clear the ball. Much like Derby boss Gary Rowett on Friday night, Steve Bruce appeared to have set up perfectly from a defensive point of view. After an initial flurry before the goal, Villa were able to reduce the number of crosses coming into the box and cleared most of those that did. They continued to threaten, too. Jedinak went closer than he would have expected with another header after Darren Randolph made a meal of gathering the ball, before Grealish burst through only to be thwarted by Daniel Ayala. Robert Snodgrass crashed a curling effort onto the post moments before halftime, with Randolph forced into a superb diving save. Chances were at a premium after the break, but they did enough to get their noses ahead in the tie. Borough were stifled with Adama Traore kept frustratingly quiet. To their credit, Borough began to build after a few shell-shocked minutes having conceded, but they just couldn't find their feet overall. With 6 wins in their last 7 at home, they were in good form coming into the game but struggled to find their usual rhythm early on. Mohamed Bešić was a driving force in midfield, and Johnny Howson laid on the first great chance for top scorer Britt Assombalonga, playing a lovely through ball in between the centre-backs. Having lost Chester, the striker failed to set himself and placed his shot well over the bar. He received the ball in a similar position moments later, cutting in from the left. His effort was controlled a little better, but he could still only find the side netting. Assombalonga's best chance, a header from point-blank range, failed to trouble Sam Johnston in the Villa goal. That summed up the home side's frustrations throughout. Borough were forcing their attacks, trying to run through Villa's defense, but the protection provided by Jedinak was far too effective. Every avenue for a pass was cut off, and they were able to break with ease through Grealish, who put in a superb playmaking display all evening. Adama Traore has finally begun to fulfill his remarkable potential under Pulis, but Villa, his first club in England, knew all about his threat and triple-marked him whenever he received the ball. But for one burst, in the dying embers of the first 45 minutes, when he saw a shot flash wide of Johnstone's goal, there was little to show for his display. It was a challenge for the Spanish under-21 international to find the space elsewhere, but he remained on the periphery for most of the game. Borough's style of play demands more pace in the wide areas. Pulis' system has played to Middlesbrough's strengths this season, getting them back to where they were at their best under Aitor Karanka, with a compact midfield and defense that does not stray too far from its duty. Dominating the ball is easy, and it was so again, but while Traore has thrived having the team built around him this season, Borough looked devoid of ideas and creativity without his influence, which was the main reason for their failure to convert all their possession into chances. Just as was the case under Karanka, they lack pace and, when their first port of call, getting the ball to Traoré as often and as high up the pitch as possible, doesn't work, they are far too easy to contain. George Friend, their left-back and former captain, has lost a yard of pace, and that told as they look to play on the counter-attack. Stuart Downing doesn't have the pace to get in behind defenders, either. Ayala's substitution due to injury will undoubtedly worry Pulis ahead of the second leg, but it did allow for Fabio to come on at right back, with Ryan Shotton moving into the heart of the defense. The act he made was immediate, getting to the byline and crossing just seconds after his introduction, before striking a ferocious effort at Johnston and shooting wide in stoppage time. Patrick Bamford was summoned late on, having been unlucky to miss out on a starting berth, and he made a difference, too. It would not be a surprise to see him continue in attack at Villa Park. Steve Bruce on course for a record 5th promotion. So much action is still to come in this tie, and indeed the playoffs generally, but Bruce had spoken about the need to stay in the tie heading into the home leg, so he will be more than pleased after that result and performance. The former Hull and Birmingham manager knows how to navigate this stage of the season better than anyone, and should he lead Villa back to the Premier League, it will be his 5th promotion as a manager. Boro are far from out of the game, and they have to go for it on Tuesday, which may suit them better than playing on the counter-attack. But Chester, Terry, Jedinak and Grealish were excellent in helping Villa to the perfect away performance.